Hello and welcome back. I've seen some videos recently, sort of like guilty pleasures, vinyl albums, right? And I like the idea, and I thought, well, let me have a go, right? And let's see if people have fun, right? I want to talk about 10 albums that people wouldn't expect in my collection. When I was a teenager and a young man, right, you never said those things, right? You kept them to themselves because people felt that you were not cool, right? Liking certain artists, and you had to be very critical and talk about the big bands, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, etc., right? And you have to be in the know and show off, right? So those albums were, let's say, they were just placed on a corner, right, or on the bookshelf, but you enjoy them and you like them. When you come to my age, well, you don't really mind. I play what I like and I just try to have some fun, So what I want to do in this video is just, let you know 10 of them and see if you enjoy yourselves and if you like them, right? And if you do and you want to let me know, just write it on the description, right? And if you don't, of course, I understand. As you might presume, they're all inexpensive, but I play them quite often, and I have some fun. And that's what music is for, isn't it? I mean, having fun, right? Well, let's start then. I hope you enjoy it. This is Cabaret, right? The soundtrack to the movie from 1972. This is an English pressing. I've got an American pressing as well, but the American pressing doesn't sound too good, right? And not the UK either. I prefer the Hippo CD, the remastered Hippo CD that came out in 1995. But maybe once a year, I love listening to Money, to Maybe This Time, to Cabaret, Tomorrow Belongs to Me, and enjoy myself, right? Or even watching the movie once more. No, this is not an English pressing. This is Spanish pressing. So I've got three copies of this one. Elvis Hits of the 70s, right? Now, there's no guilty pleasure in Elvis, right? But if you talk about these albums that are, late songs recorded not long before he died, right? And say that you love Always on My Mind, I Just Can't Help Believing, I Lost You, and things like that, right? And then people will say, oh, you don't like the real Elvis. The real Elvis was the rocker, the rock and roll, the 60s. Yes, I know, and I've got those albums as well. But me, like the king, I lost my mother when I was very young. And I always felt very related to him, sort of in a spiritual way. And I love playing this album, get carried away by it, and even drop a tear. That's me. Next one. Wow, this is big. Chris de Burgh, Into the Light. It's got Lady in Red, right? That got so much radio airplay in the 80s and so on. I've always liked this man's music, and I play this album very often to my wife's surprise, because other than the Lady in Red, I think the rest of the tracks are fantastic, and it's cheerful music, it's upbeat, and especially the lead of the vision and What About Me that merge into one track, right? And they make me feel like the character, right, in the story, and love playing air guitar and getting carried away by it, right? Now, due respect, Lael. one of the best Black American voices, or voices anywhere. Right? I love funk, and I love dancing to funk music. As I said, my age, I don't care, right? I just have a good time and enjoy myself. And Lael is just fantastic for that, right? Not everything in life is Led Zeppelin and progressive rock, right? Wow, careful now. Grease. I watched the movie when it came out in 1977. I was 13. I loved the music. Like most of the kids, I loved Olivia, and most of all, I loved the music. And time has proved us right. It's a classic. It's been played to death. Everybody knows this soundtrack. Everybody knows the music is played all over the world, right? But you don't, you don't meet a vinyl lover and just sort of like jump at him and say, I like Grease, and I got 3 copies of the album, right? So what are you talking about? Yes, I do like it. I think the best copy of these, because they're so inexpensive, is the West German one from 1978, I think. It sounds wonderful, much better than the American or the British one, right? Once a year, once every 2 years, I like to feel young again, right? Well, Mr. Neil Diamond, the jazz singer, that's another soundtrack. A movie he made with Laurence Olivier. The movie is not bad, there's nothing to write home about, but the soundtrack is fantastic. Some songs here like Love on the Rocks, Songs of Life, Summer Love, etc. are really, really nice. I bought the album when it came out as well, and I was like 17 or so, and I had a girlfriend at the time who also liked the album, and it's got lots of memories, right? Few and far in between, and well, once in a blue moon, really, I have a go. Right? This is embarrassing. Christopher Cross. And not the man himself, who is a wonderful guitarist, right? Wonderful guitar player, and some of his songs are very popular. But you couldn't say that in the 80s, right? When people expected you to know a lot about Pink Floyd, or want to know a lot about Led Zeppelin, or Jethro Tull, or Steely Dan, right? And you can't say, at the time you couldn't say, I've got all Steely Dan albums, and then show something like this. But give credit where credit is due. This album is really groovy. It's very good music. It's good driving music. I've got a CD as well, and I play it in the car. My car still has got a CD. My car still has a CD player. And I love, just singing along, So You'll Be Mine, I Really Don't Know Anymore, of course, Right Like the Wind, etc. Well, now we'll get into the most difficult area. Olivia NewtonJohn, Greatest Hits. I can't remember when I first saw Olivia on TV. I suppose it was the early 70s or so. I remember that he was in the Eurovision Festival, which he didn't win. And me and most of the kids and everyone said that she was so beautiful, she sounds so well, that I think I fell in love with her at that age. And she's passed away not long ago. But I still like to listen to some of her songs, right? Like Let Me Be There, If You Love Me, Let Me Know, and some of the Grease tracks. I think she's a great singer, and she will always be remembered, and you shouldn't be embarrassed to listen to some of these. It's great. What about this one? Gold. This was a present from my daughter. Thank you, darling. ABBA was very popular in the UK between the mid-70s and the late 80s. But in the 70s, it was everywhere. But it was a time when the progressive rock bands were in their heyday, when people liked to have very thoughtful and very intellectual, highbrow albums, right? And ABBA was something like, just for the girls, just for teenagers, come on. But the thing is that this music has been with us for decades, and teenagers nowadays still love Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, Knowing Me, Knowing You. I mean, why not? I even went to see the musical, and I had a great time. Of course, to me, it's not the listening experience, that's something else, but it's good fun. And the last one that shocks most people, Barbra Streisand, Guilty. I love this album, and I'm not ashamed of saying it. I think it's brilliant, fantastic, and I have a great time listening to this. Not only the tracks that became popular on the radio, like Guilty or Woman in Love or What Kind of Fool, but especially the last track on side B, Make It Like a Memory. It just brings me to tears. Her voice, the guitar solo, the orchestral finale, it's just quite a long song, about 7 minutes. And I love her voice, I love her music, and I think she's fantastic. Right, and that was it. Did you have a good time? Do you have some of these albums? What are your guilty pleasures? Let me know. Thanks for listening and take care.